Welcome back, everyone. It's a massive episode of Aces Premiership Countdown. We break down the Sydney Swans choking to the Saints and letting us all down, but no more than the Pig. The Pig's punishment is on the way, and you're going to absolutely love it. We break down all the results, the upsets, North Melbourne getting it done. We talk about the coaches at the press conferences, some awkward moments, some swearing. We also talk about a historic match in Florence, and we pick our 5. There's a lot to talk about, and we give our tips this week and our locks if you're still following. It's a huge week, but the Pig, he gets punished. Tune in. This episode is proudly sponsored by KPI Construction Services. When it comes to construction sites, reliability and efficiency are key. That's where KPI Construction Services shines. With a single call, KPI provides a range of essential services, which includes labour hire, crane hire, and traffic control. KPI is a progressive business with modern plant and equipment across all of their operating states. Focusing on innovation and to avoid the business drifting is always front of mind. We are proud to be aligned with and have such a reputable company partnering with the show. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixxeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.
All right, Tommy, let's get stuck into the podcast, mate.
Welcome back, everyone. Aces Premiership Countdown. My name is Tommy the Train, and I've got the Pig Hibbard next to me. And gee whiz, am I up and about this week? I'm a little bit flat. That 12-week challenge is not only over, it's all over for the season because we don't have 12 more weeks to come, I don't think. But we've got a new little concept potentially brewing. But the excitement levels are big because punishment time, after having that smoothie a few weeks ago, or the juice or whatever the Pig called it, it's my time to punish the Pig. And I've had all your messages and I've read them all. And I've got the Pig next to me and he looks a bit nervous. How are you, Pig?
Yeah, I am nervous, mate. Not sure what you got in store. So if I'm a little bit flat early, it's probably why. Tough week. I don't want to go into it too much. We'll
Sunday as well, the graveyard shift. Just as the weekend was looking unbelievable, North Melbourne got up, the Dons got up, we got the Giants got up. I was there, and then we just thought that Freddie kicked his 2, only needed 1. I thought, Swannies will finish the job for us. All of a sudden. I mean, you talked to me about it. What happened? I fell asleep on the couch. I was a bit hungover on Sunday. I woke up and had to watch the replay.
Well, they should have won, mate. I want to have a look now. What did they kick? They kicked...
Well, there's a man that you've told me to write on the run sheet starting. I think his name's Logan.
11.
What's your thoughts on Logan?
Well, he's had a ping after the siren last week and butchered it, and I think he could have. He had a few options. He's turned his back on everyone and then said, "Hey, I'm the man for the job."
He said, "I'm the man," didn't he?
Off the boot, I'm watching it, obviously intently with what's going on with our locks, and they should have been in front. They should have won, and then Logan's just saying, "Nah, I'm the man for the job. I want to make up for my mistakes last week," and I thought it went through. It was so close, and big fella missed.
Should have been past it? I felt like they had 3v1 streaming in.
It was 2 one-on-ones streaming in.
Are they reviewing that?
I haven't been able to find the footage behind the goals, but I think they're definitely reviewing it going, big fella, you're 50 out and you stunk it up last week, so maybe pass it off. But it was I liked the fact that he backed himself, to be honest, but it would have been nice if he kicked it and we're still alive in the 12-week challenge. As you said, we need to come up with a new concept. There's not 12 weeks to go now. We've got finals, though.
It was heartbreaking. We would have had about $700 on it in the kitty.
Yeah. So I feel bad. I'm going to.
Anything else to say to the Aces because they could feel the momentum with Freddie kicking 2. The Train backed in Freddie. Did he?
I'm going to cop my right whack. I did punish you the other week, and I've got what's coming to me. I don't know what it is, but
and you really enjoyed punishing me as well. Watching that video,
I think everyone did, mate, from the reports we got. So. Anyway, move on, mate.
Very good. Well, a big shout out to Michael Frederick. Yeah,
he was good.
As I said, I was enjoying myself at the Giants game. We'll talk about it in a second. And he hadn't kicked one at half time. In fact, he had 3 touches. So I was concerned he might have been getting the red vest there for a second. Clearly he wasn't. But, when they haven't had a touch, you never know what the coaches are going to do. And then he kicked 2. So I always knew he'd kick 1. So that was great. It was a great weekend. I mean, another guy that we need to shout out that leads into the Giants-Carlton game, but Who's our man from the Giants that plays midfield?
Tommy Green.
Oh, Tommy Green went bang, and did he kick it?
$4.40 or something?
450 or 440, and it was from like 50 out. So it wasn't the goal that I anticipated. I thought maybe stoppage goal, free kick, someone tackles him high. I don't know, but he's gone back from about 45 on a very tight angle. And did we get some messages? It's coming through.
He knew he was due, the big fella. He'd been saying he's going to kick a goal for a while, and he finally got it through. I looked back at what I tipped last week, and I was around the mark on nearly all of them. So it might have been 1 or 2 I was off, but I landed a few. So I want to keep doing that. I know the 12-week challenge is letting us down. Although, hold on. I picked about 6 in a row. You let us down. Then we brought the challenge in. And now I've, when we were gaining momentum, I've fucked it up. So
the best part is, no matter what you say, you get punished.
Yeah, I know.
This is your second punishment, and I've had 2. Like we're kind of on par.
Yeah.
We just haven't had the chemistry.
I haven't been punished.
Yeah. Have you had to wear the Melbourne kit?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
You were the first one off the rank, mate. We actually introduced the punishments because you were stinking after a bit there, big fella. I remember when I abused you and said, mate, you're the reason we're losing. Has a little laugh. You didn't like that. Were you going to ask me about my weekend? Because
how was it, mate? I know you went out to the Giants. I thought you went into it. So I'm just copping a barrage here. I can't even think. I'm worried about the punishment coming my way. I'm copping a barrage saying it's my fault that all the money's out of the account. What did you get up to? You went to the Giants. Was it good?
Funny enough, I think
how many games did you play there?
2 games, 6 disposals.
You can't be going to
clean the fridge out.
Going to a past players when you had 6 disposals for the club in 2 games.
Jeez, they run a great operation. The best past players event in the league. I don't reckon any other club runs a better operation.
Do you reckon they're going, fucking hell, Tommy's not giving up on this. He's back here again.
I'll tell you what, I gave a lot in the box. The energy's high and the rooms was high.
The more the merrier.
It was it's a great club, and they had us in the grouse, the sweet one with Dave Matthews there and a few others. But the thing was, it was a great day. We started early. About 8 or 9 of us met at Crown. Big shout out to Crown in Sydney there. That's kind of pretty new. And we had a few. Then we headed in, and that first quarter, mate, I was thinking, this is embarrassing. The boys haven't rocked up. The past players are in the house. Where's the respect for the 2 games, 6 disposals? You know what I mean? And then, mate, I honestly don't remember a momentum shift like it in a quarter. So Carlton, I think Carlton are the best team in it. I've said that all year. Yep. And then the Giants have kicked like 8 or 9 unanswered after getting smashed in the first quarter. All of a sudden, it's a 2-point margin or something at halftime. I couldn't believe it. And then the way they played the third, and then they ended up winning the game, it was incredible. It was a massive win for the club. It's a massive win for the season. And then obviously you can only imagine how many beers are going down, how excited everyone was. So by the time we got into the rooms, it felt like we'd played when the boys come in, give them a big slap. You know what I mean? You forget that you're not in the colours. And it was just a great day, great night. So yeah, it was awesome.
What did you do that night?
We went out afterwards, but it was pretty late getting out of West Sydney and whatnot. True. So most of the damage was done during the day and at the game. But yeah, it was a great weekend. Beautiful. But pulled up pretty rubbish. As I said, I've been off the piss for about a month. Geez, the body doesn't handle it.
Slow weekend.
I was in trouble Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when you're just having naps and I was trying to watch the game, my eyes are closed, just so tired.
Try having kids, mate, when you're a little bit dusty. It's not good.
It wouldn't be. But anyway, what about you, mate? Did you get up to much?
Mate, I went down, so Malky's first game back from his knee. Yes. Called it last week on the pod. He's a chance. Why
didn't you back him? He kicked 2, didn't he?
Kicked 2. Maybe he's part of my lock. I don't know. Maybe later. So I went down and saw him in the rooms. But I've triple booked myself. We had the Port Colts reverse draw, 10K reverse draw on Sunday.
Who won that?
I didn't go. Tyler, bloke in the back line. I think he ended up winning and sharing it with one of the netballers. I think they went halves. But I missed that because I was going to support Malky, but I had to leave the game early because I was going to the Wiggles with the kids.
Yeah,
it's been booked in for ages. So it was a triple booking of the weekend. Obviously, priorities. I went with the kids and they loved it for about half an hour, and then we got out before the rush because they started turning pretty quick. We're up in the nosebleeds, but it was a good day, good weekend, and very chill after that.
So you just rolled in, got the photo with Melbourne's Instagram. Yep, royalty in the room. I read royalty, and then out you go to the Wiggles.
They're throwing royalty around pretty easy these days.
Around the neck.
Yeah. Well, anyway. But yeah, I ducked off pretty quick. I showed my support to Melky and the club, and I had to leave. Yeah,
You would have had the phone out at the Wiggles though, wouldn't you?
I was watching it. I was listening to it on the way back to pick the family up, and then maybe checked it a couple of times while I was at the Wiggles. I'm not worried about hot potato. I was worried about the football.
I tell you what, I watched the game and mate, Jakey looked that fit and that springy, and just from what he's obviously gone through with an ACL, and then your first game back, you're normally unders. You maybe a little bit. You're not, your hand-eye's not there, your timing's off. He looked unbelievable. In fact, he looked cherry ripe, and we always know his rig's just spectacular, and he's always been in great shape. But it's like he's just picked up where he left off, and it's exactly what you said at training. He's just winning all the contested marking and all that. He looked elite, and they look elite when he's playing. They scored. Their offense was flowing, wasn't it?
They lost against Brisbane, but they were winning contested ball and clearance, and the signs were there again. And obviously they played West Coast, a bit lower down the ladder, but they're playing a better brand at the moment. And Jake's good for their connection forward to centre. Saw a left foot kick to Cozzy in the first, I think, and then they didn't pay that hanger. I don't know if you saw. He took a hanger about 5 minutes in. They didn't pay it. It was a mark, and he's kicked too. So. When you come back from rehab, they train you so hard. They get you AFL ready. I know sometimes they like bringing you back through the VFL, but you're as fit as you're going to be after going through 9 months of rehab. You're training, you're on bikes, you're running. Jake's ultimate professional. He made sure he was fit to play. And mate, he's fresh. Guys have played 15, 16 games by now, and he's as fresh and he's just come out and hopefully just keeps it all together and gives the boys a push towards finals, because they need to win a few more games to press for that.
They're looking. I mean, it's this league is so hard. 1 week people look average, the next week they look unreal.
Yep.
A few players come back, some players get injured, some players get reported. We'll talk about that all in a minute. I mean, I think Rankin's the big one with 4 and Heaney with 1. We'll break that down later. But Cozzy Pickett's another reason why they're flying, and literally flying. Took the big hang, like you said, finally took one, and he's kicking a lot of goals. So, yeah, mate, the D's are looking good. And they'll play Essendon this week. And speaking of Essendon, they got it done and they're looking good. And I think Merritt's starting to get a lot of attention. I think Jai Caldwell's been outstanding for them. And I think he might have just signed a deal. I can't even remember if it was him. I think it was. But he's a guy I've been hyping since I left the Giants, because he was an early pick. They couldn't retain him because obviously he got paid a lot of money to go somewhere else. And he is hard and he's clean and he's a team player and he's exactly what you want if you want an inside mid. And he can run all day. So it's good to see him going well. And the Dons, they needed that scalp. They needed to beat a top team like Collingwood. And whether Collingwood are going that well at the moment with injuries, who knows? But it was still a really impressive performance. So it's going to be really, mate. This end of the year is going to be big. It's the Hibbo Cup.
It's the Hibbo Cup. The Melksham Cup.
Who else is there? Anyone else?
Well, Goody was there as well, I guess. So, as a coach. But, yeah, it is a cracking game. I mean, Melbourne nearly need a win.
They both need a win. You're talking top 4 pretty much, not locked, but for the Dons.
The Dons will play finals now, I think. But
this is the game that it's like you haven't beaten anyone above you or around you until last week. The D's are going all right. This is a game that they need to win.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to the game. Looking forward to it. My sponsor, Gabby at Melbourne for 7 years that I was there. So we've been saying I'll go to the games with her, and I'm looking forward to going there and having a beer and cheering on the D's. So it'll be a good game. And hopefully the D's get up. But yeah, back to Cozzy. He'd been flirting with taking hangers for years, and he finally took one. I said it to you in text the other day. I was like, it's good to see him because he flies for some massive ones and always drops them. But good to see him take one on the weekend.
It was. Let's go to our leaderboard. Gone Without a Trace, still sitting on top, so won't even bother. But Gone Without a Trace, sitting first by 2 points on our Ausmerican Aces AFL tipping competition. Just on that, there was a text message that came through my phone the other day. James Harms, what time's the pod this week? Hit me up. He's going to come back next week because obviously we moved this one to an early record because you've got a commitment in the afternoon. So The nut might be on next week, and I didn't really want him on this week because we've got a lot of punishments and a lot of things to get through. So another guest would have thrown a spanner in the works.
Punishment would have been sitting in the same room as Harmsy. That would have been enough punishment for me.
I hope you're not listening, Harmsy. Righto, well, we go straight through. We skipped Planner out of bounds last week, but my mate had a bit of feedback off the, the ice testicles. He was very dirty with one of our mates who leaked that. So he was unsure who he told. He only told one person. And he couldn't remember, and he had a lot of feedback. Well, no one knows who he is. That's fine. We don't name them, but he was filthy with my mate who gave me the mail, and obviously no one gets named, so it was a great little WhatsApp group afterwards.
You would have been dirty as my missus said that. She's like, do you think Tommy's friend would be disappointed? Like, he's not even supposed to know. I'm like, I didn't even think of it like that.
Oh, he loved it, but he just thought, he goes, I won't say his name, but he's a rat. He's a little rat, that bloke. That's what he was calling him on the phone.
Anyway, that's funny.
All right, well, let's go to one of our favourite segments, the Pigs news segment, and that's Puge.
That's Puge. Well, we touched on it, mate. And I'll tell you what, it's Puge this week for me, Sydney. They've let us down again, a head-to-head. I should have known. Last time I tipped Sydney in our 12-week challenge for a head-to-head, they lost. So I should have known, but I thought, surely against the Saints.
No king.
Like
off a loss.
And, off a loss. Like, they're arguably, everyone was saying how they're going to be the best team for a long time and blah, 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 blah. And they've let us down. They've kicked 11-16. Big Logie. I don't want to tip it into him too much, but he's let us down again. And that's Puge for the week. I still am not. I'm not okay with it, and I'm a bit worried now of what if I get punished this week. What happens next week? I can't sleep, mate. I was up last night. So to Sydney, that was Puge. You need to get back on the winners board this week. What do you got, mate?
And just on that before I get to mine, but we did say the bookies know something. Remember we're going $1.30.
They got into $1.20.
Yeah, right. But we thought $1. I thought $1.08. I thought
that's what I was thinking.
I thought, that's what Freo were against Richmond, and
at the time it was a steal.
But the bookies knew something was up, and with King out, it's like they play better. I don't know. That's what they're telling us.
The bookies know.
Anyway, we should listen to the bookies. My one is, I'll tell you what's Puge. Is when you're flying and the pressure in your ears. You know when you get the pressure in. I don't get it a lot, but gee, I got it on the way to Sydney last week, and I was fake yawning for about 50 minutes there. It's just Puge. That feeling of your ears blocked, it's quite painful. And I thought that is something that I haven't had for a while, but I've heard a lot of people talk about. So, yeah, Puge.
They say they have chewy. And the fake yawn, that's supposed to get rid of it too. But if you chew chewy, apparently it's supposed to.
I didn't have chewy, but I was
doing
everything.
Chewy on the way home.
If someone saw me, they would have thought I was off my head or something because I was doing the fake yawn and doing everything I could with my mouth.
Sometimes it sticks around in one ear for like half a day too.
It popped about 2 hours later, and I was like, wow. But that was my little Puge. Nothing on Sydney. But now time for That's Grouse.
That's Grouse for me. I did this last night. I don't know if you've been or heard about it, but the Lightscape at the Botanical Gardens.
Walked past it and seen. I've just walked around the tan, and I've seen what's going on in there.
Anyone out there that's got kids and wants to go for a 40-minute walk around the Botanical Gardens, it was unreal. Like, I enjoyed it, and my kids were frothing it. So I went last night, put them in the pram. It was raining a little bit, but I had the umbrella. Just all the different lights on the trees and on the water, and obviously Botanical Gardens is awesome. It's a beautiful place. Take it for granted a little bit when you live so close. I don't go there often. I used to run the tan a little bit every now and then, but check it out because I absolutely loved it. Kids loved it. It's one of the best things I've done with my family. So that's Grouse. So anyone with kids or a family out there and you want something to do, I think it's about $40 a ticket. It's a bit steep, but you can get food and you have a drink. Check it out.
There you go. The wheels, the botanic. You are the greatest father of all time.
Oh, you'd like to think so.
You've been on fire lately. The kids must be loving you. School holidays. Got to keep them entertained, right?
Well, they're too young to be at school, but I'm off work at the moment, so I've got to spend time with the kids. Got to get out of the house. You get stuck inside. You're watching the Wiggles, then you're going to the Wiggles and
watching the footy in Sydney playing, and it gets angry. Get angry.
What do you got for?
I'll tell you what's Grouse. It popped up on the feed. I like to pick up the little video. We spoke about something last week. The Grouse was those golf videos, but It's the Florence historic football game. Now, I don't know if anyone has ever seen this before, but it's a mix of soccer, rugby, and fighting. It's just brutal stuff. It's like gladiators. And it popped up and it came to my attention. I thought, that is gross. I'd love to be in Florence to watch this. But I also thought it would be pretty cool to assemble a team with you right now with past players and current players and put it out to the public to see whose team would win if they were to play in the Florence historic football match. So I thought, have you seen it first?
I have. I've watched a documentary on this about a year or maybe 2 years ago. It's nuts.
It's crazy, man. We're talking like the ball goes up and people are just bashing each other.
That has nothing to do with the ball. This is people in the corner punching on.
And then it opens up a bit of space and then they try to score.
Yeah, and then someone's, you got to have someone to get the ball and run it and throw it through the net.
Once a year, is it?
Yeah, once a year. And there's people that do it every year and like they lose their teeth and it's probably it's the craziest sport I've ever seen. I don't know how it's only in Florence, but I've been to Florence too. It's the most beautiful place ever. And then they've got these blokes punching on in a soccer pitch.
So I thought, let's have some fun.
I like this.
And let's pick my team. So Train's team vs Pig's team. Pick 5 players.
5.
You have to have 2 past players and 2 current players.
All right.
We need 5. I'm going to put your list against mine. So have you got your list there?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
Give me your list.
What do you want first?
I want them all. Just give them all, then I'll go mine.
I'm going to explain why on a couple.
Okay.
All right. So 2 current. I got 1 lock for my current, and I'll struggle for the second one, but I've come up with one. Jack Viney was always going to be my lock. He's hard as a cat's head. His brother Max is black belt jiu-jitsu, so Vines does that with him all the time. So he'd be able to pin him down and get an armbar. And he's obviously a bit of a madman. You see the way he plays. He's got Big Texan, the other one. He's a big brute of a man. Okay. I was trying to think of another big guy. He's physical. So I've got him. And then I've gone a bit left to centre. I've got one here that not many people would know about, but this guy is as tough and as mad as they come. Nathan Lovett Murray.
I was just thinking you were going to say that.
Nathan Lovett Murray. And I might just leave it there because I don't want him to get a bit grumpy with me and track me down but this bloke is... He's one of the scarier guys I've ever played with. He's the kindest guy ever. Very nice and softly spoken. But if you get on his bad side, and I think anyone that knows him or any of my Essendon teammates know what I'm talking about. I think there might be some footage of him giving one of the Carr brothers an absolute clip. I'll see if I can send it to Brado. Check that out on YouTube. I've got Big Mummy. I've got Big Mummy. And I was wrestling between Barry Hall and my mate Big Thumper Bellchambers. I'm going to go with Big Tommy. He's probably got a bit more size. He gave Cam Mooney the old 1-2 a couple of months ago. Left, right, good night. And Barry Hall's fighting tonight, and by the time this releases, he could be spark out. So that guy could end up looking bad. So I'm going to go Mumford, Bellchambers, Lovett Murray, Viney, and Tex.
Love it. Okay. I'm going to start with my current players. I'm going to start with Braden Maynard. I reckon he is a player that I'll want on my side. Bruzzy, I reckon he's tough as nails. And remember, this is a game at the end of the day. We need to be scoring to win this game of footy or whatever it's called. So Bruzzy goes in. And then I tossed up Toby Green or Jezza Cameron. To tell you why, I've seen these 2 blokes wrestle for hours. And Toby knows this. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, brother, but you miss out because Jezza always gets on top of the Tobe. So Jezza goes in. Now, Jezza is one of those blokes unassuming, hard as, and he can go and he's very strong. He's taller than you think. He's got the sharp elbows, so he'd be great in this historic little football match in Florence. And then we go to the past players, and I'm glad you didn't say him because I've got big bad Barry Hall. When he puts you in a choker hold and a sleeper, mate, you can't get off unless 10 blokes run him. We've seen that against North Melbourne. Yep. He's fighting now and he looks fit. I'd love to have Barry on my side. I know if I looked left and I looked him in the eyes, I'd be walking a little bit taller. So I thought Barry Hall has to go in. And then I thought about a guy we're all good mates with, but Campbell Brown, when he goes bang and he ticks, he's one of those little muscle balls. You'd want him on your side. I think he'd be great. He can take a hit. He's tough as nails. So Campbell Brown goes in. And then One that not many people might remember, but a lot of people in town know. He was the number one rookie listed player to the Western Bulldogs back in 2004. Jimmy Kondos. He's very I know what you're thinking.
I know Jimmy.
You know Jimmy. Everyone knows Jimmy.
I know Jimmy.
Jimmy is tough as nails.
He's still fit.
He's still fit as a fiddle. And if I'm going to Florence and I'm playing in this historic match, I need Jimmy Kondos next to me. So if I go through my list, I've got Maynard, I've got Jezza Cameron, I've got Jimmy Kondos because I think he can throw a few blokes around. Don't you worry about that. Barry Hall, he might be the skipper, and then Campbell Brown. They are my 5.
So we're versing each other. I'm interested to see if there's a poll on this, if we can clip it up during the week, because I reckon I've got you. Barry Hall, obviously, it seems like a no-brainer. But by the time this airs, he might be still sleeping. So,
well, Bazza, get it done tonight, and good luck. We need you to win that because if he does go to sleep tonight, that's going to really hurt. Obviously, this pre-record that goes out tomorrow. Righto. So there you go. That was a good segment there. Let's get into our RIXX eye-catching moments because there's been a few this week. And like we said last week, we've got the brand new Soho and Melrose large RIXX eyewear. Hibbo's got the green, Melrose on. I've got the Bostons on here. But we've got those famous styles of ours in large. So if you've got a large head to rixeyewear.com.au and use our discount code ACES for 20% off and free express shipping. Pig. Let's merge our eye catchers. We've got 2. Because we couldn't toss who wanted which one. They're both caught our eye, and we'll start with Adam Simpson getting the sack from West Coast Eagles. But the press conference yesterday with Pikey, it was something to be. There's something else.
It was hard to watch, wasn't it?
It was a reality of football behind the scenes that had just come straight to a press conference. I reckon they're not on the same terms, and they're still arguing, and they had to do that press conference, and he was like, you know what, I'm gone now, I'll say what I want.
100%. And when he said that he wanted to coach Pike, he was like, I want him to coach this weekend, and Adam Simpson just gave the look to someone in the crowd like, hold on, we haven't discussed that, mate. I was like, oh my God, this is awkward.
And real tactical because obviously Pikey says that probably not behind closed doors. I'm only guessing here, so I'm only assuming you should never do this, but it looked like it was the first time he'd heard of it or they hadn't come to the agreement, and he thought, well, by throwing that out in the public was a bit unfair because Simo's like, mate, 100%. Now you put me under the pump here and I can't say an answer now because I'll be held. So he kind of had to go back and say, mate, we haven't agreed. And then that's what made it so awkward.
Well, yeah. What is he going to coach this week? One last game? Because think about it, like when your heart's not in it, it's a bit of a gimmicky kind of thing to do.
I think if it was me, I'm ropeable in that moment. I go home to my family and I speak to, my wife if I'm him, and I think that they would go, look, take a deep breath. You've had an amazing time. You've been so successful. You've had a tough last few years. Let's just celebrate one more time. All your past players will be there. This is more about a celebration. This week sucks, but I think it'd be great and you'll regret it if you don't. So go out there and do it. And if you do regret it, well, who cares? You went out and did it and you had class and whatnot. I think the fans would love to have it one more time.
Yeah.
So I personally think he should, but he should be allowed to answer that privately.
For sure. I thought putting him under the pump and on the spot was pretty unprofessional, really. So it caught our eye, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one, mate, Dimmer's press.
Oh, great.
I love Dimmer. Like, he just doesn't mince his words, does he?
He's got nothing to lose because he's a three-timer?
And
as
him,
a coach?
Obviously very disappointed losing to North.
There was the biggest – that's going to cost them finals.
Yeah.
Blokes like me and you who support the Suns, we want to see them in final. We want to see Essendon. We want to see North. We want to see the Suns. We want to see them all up there. And the fact that they've lost to North's second win of the year, North are going pretty well, as we were speaking about privately, with all the contested ball and whatnot the last few weeks.
Pressure.
But
pressure.
Suns, like you said, what was his comments?
Grow the fuck up.
And rightly so, because how many years are they going to sit around 9th and 10th?
Yeah, and claim that, they're a young team, and they're not. They're not anymore. They've got some mature bodies in there. They've got guys that have been on the list for 4 years playing every week. So I liked it. I loved it. Obviously, it caught our eye. It's an eye catcher for us. But
do you love that though? Because I heard LeBron James yesterday talk about Bronny, and what does Bronny think of all? And he goes, Bronny don't give a fuck. Like, now he's being completely raw and honest, and he swears, right? But that's the reality of life. You're not going to go to a pub and not hear those words. So I kind of enjoy coaches swearing a little bit more and being a bit more honest.
They're real. They're not robots. Nah. They're not. They're not just doing saying or doing the right things. They're pretty much just telling it how it is, straight down the line, and that's what he'd be saying in the locker room. I tell you what, if you're a player on that Gold Coast list on the Monday, you probably have the next day off, and then you're going in with the tail between your legs, worrying, hoping that Dimmer's not coming for you. So
I reckon there'll be a few blokes that will be out of the side for not only next few weeks, for the rest of the year. He'll be like, nah, you're done. You've had, that they move on and they start to bring, and it's a good opportunity for blokes that haven't been in the side to come in and stamp their authority and maybe stay in. And the season's well and truly still alive, but that was a big missed opportunity.
For sure. It just shows as well, if you're not on, like, any team can beat you. And North are actually playing some good footy, as I said, the pressure. And, I'd probably caused them to
kick. You could not have timed your hate towards North Melbourne and their football.
Hate. Hate's a strong word.
Well, okay, sorry. Let me.
My opinion was they wouldn't win a game, and was I wrong?
They have no fans, and no, they won't win a game for the rest of the year. Like, you couldn't have timed that any better.
Yep.
It's been great. You're a fan now.
Yeah, I am. I'm a big fan.
You're a Melbourne and North Melbourne fan.
Yeah, so Dimmer and to Simo, you were our RIXX eye-catching moments of the week, and love the presses. Just keep being real. I like all coaches to be like that.
We like the NFL, just real life drama. There's always something coming up. Just be yourself in those presses. Tell it how it is, especially when you've been given the arse. What do you got to lose?
100%.
Should have told Pikey some more things. He should have let it all off his chest, hey, Simo? RIXXeyewear.com.au. Use the discount code ACES for 20% off and free express shipping. There you go. So, mate, flying through the show. And just a quick one. We haven't had questions. If anyone out there wants to know why we haven't got the questions, Spotify has updated their back end and they're now allowing comments and us to reply to your comments, which is pretty cool. But in all of that, we've lost all of your comments from last week's episode. So we don't have questions. We don't have your punishment recommendations, even though we saw a lot of them throughout the week, but I haven't been able to print them and write your name. So if you did write in, I just want to say thank you. We apologise. We haven't got any this week because of that. But next week, we'll definitely have that. And look, there's only 3 or 4 things to go on this show. And before we get in, we've got predictions, game previews, and tips broken down next. But just after that, I can see the pig starting to go a little bit white. His punishment's around the corner before the 12-week lock challenge. So I just thought I'd put that on the agenda. So, Pig, just know that while you're predicting these games that you've got something coming up around the corner.
I'm not looking forward to it, mate. Let's get into it. Friday night, big game. The Pies versus the Cats at the MCG. The Cats showed a bit last week. I like Jezza for a bag of 3 or 4. He's starting to find his groove. And I'm going to tip the Cats. I just think Pies losing to Essendon last week. I think the Cats having a good win. I just reckon the Cats going to win this week on Friday night. You?
Yeah, Jezza loves the Pies. So I'm going to...
Who's going to play on him?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you put Maynard on him just to say, like, mate, you need to play a role this week because we don't have the tools? If that's the case, then someone else will pop up. But I think there's good odds on this game. I think you get about $1.75 for the Cats. They're playing really good. They've been a team that's gone under the radar, I reckon, a little bit. Like they went really well, then they went really poor. Now they're going really well, and they're just going to slide into the top 4 at the end of the year, aren't they? You can just see it. Like they just somehow end up top 4 again.
Yeah.
They're just an amazing club. So yeah, and Jez is flying. I think he missed a lot of goals last week. So if he kicks straight, he could kick 5 or 6. But I agree with everything you said there.
Hawks versus the Dockers down at Launceston.
This is a value play.
You always said it's a long way to Tassie from Perth, and not many people I know they're against your mob. I'm going to tip the Hawks down there, and I'm going to stick with Fife for a goal.
You can't keep tipping. This is the thing with Fife is he's not playing
the juice. We like the juice.
Right. You know what? Maybe it is.
I'm going to just keep putting $10 on him until he kicks it.
The Tom Green approach.
Yeah, exactly. So
Did he have a shot last week? What did he have last week?
Don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
Have a look while I'm tipping this week. But I like Fremantle. Fremantle, for me, I've said this about 5 weeks ago. There is an opportunity here for Freo to potentially take this whole competition out. They've got a great run. They've got a few players. Coxie's back. Alex Pearce will be back soon. They have something special this year. They've got Tracy that's doing things that they didn't imagine.
Goals,
Oh, is he ever? I think he kicked 5. You got Amos there that's still trying to get going. You know, he was kicking bags last year, but you know what it's like. Those tools can come alive. Their forward line's got great pressure. Their mids are stacked. Their back line's stacked. They aren't talked about much in Melbourne, but if they keep doing what they're doing, you know, top 4, and then if they can win the first, that's what I'm saying, they're third. But if they can get that prelim, doesn't matter where it is, but if they can win that first final and get a home prelim, and then they get into the granny, and you never know what happens to the other side of the draw. Like Freo are under, you know, not a lot of people talking about them, but they are really a chance.
Yep.
And they've been building for a while now. So I'm 100% tipping Fremantle against Hawks. I think Hawks have shown us a little bit of what we thought earlier in the year, last week against Geelong, and there's no reason why Freo can't beat them this week. Not by much, but at $1.75. I mean, that is juice.
Now, I'm Sydney versus North at SCG of 2 losses. I think this could be big.
No way.
I think Sydney are going to win by 5 goals. I think big Logie, we're going to back him in for 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that Phillip's been tagging, right? So who's he go to?
Well, he's out, man.
Warner? Probably goes to
Mills
Warner.
is back, I believe.
Yeah, Mills is back.
So he might just slot in. Yeah, you got to think. I don't know if he's got the pace for Warner.
We'll back him in, but I think, keep an eye on that. I reckon.
Warner's
he'd be very hard to tag because he's so powerful, so fast.
Bedford's got him, but Bedford's lightning quick, so that's why he was a good matchup. Who knows what they do this week? But hey, North, wouldn't it be a great upset if North could beat Sydney?
Be huge. Are you going to tip him?
No, I'm not going to tip him. I'll probably have a little $10 on him though.
Come on, tip him.
No, I'm going to go Sydney at $1.07. There's no point. Everyone else is going Sydney. But I'm loving, I think me and you were talking about before, North Melbourne's last 5 weeks, they're number 1, I think, contested ball, number 2 in some
pressure.
In pressure or whatever it was. And their scores against are right down. Their score for is up. They've fixed something at the club. And they're building something special, and I'm loving it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they go against Sydney without Heaney, and a bit of pressure on Sydney now because all these other teams are climbing, and they're trying to retain that top 2 spot. So looking forward to that one. But yeah, Sydney for me, and I think someone like Haywood will kick 3. Yeah, I think I'm going to lean to a small. I reckon the tools have been going all right for North. So Haywood 3, and then I like Larky. I'm going to go Larky 3 as well.
All right, we'll churn through a few more now. The Dogs versus Carlton. I'm going to tip Carlton, man. This is nearly a lock for me. The Bulldogs will.
Are you going to lock it in?
It's not going to be my lock, but this is nearly a lock. I think Carlton they play pretty well at Marvel. Bulldogs were pretty bad last week, so I'm going to go the Blues. You?
Yeah, I'm just going to go the Blues and Charlie. I think Charlie will.
No Jones. No Jones.
Depending on if Jones is back, I'm not sure. He missed last week.
I don't think he's in.
But Charlie, Jack Buckley, I forgot to mention
Mackay's been kicking their goals.
Yeah, but Jack Buckley last week, I mean, no Sam Taylor, and then gets the Coleman and does a job on him. It was enormous. Considering that Carlton kicked 100 points or whatever it was, he only kicked 1, I think. So Charlie will kick a bag this week. So Charlie for 4, Carlton to win for me, and probably Adam Treloar for 30.
You love him. Oh, good. Fair enough. All right, just a tip for these ones. Adelaide and Saints after last week.
No ranking.
At home. No ranking. I'm still going Adelaide at home.
Oh.
Go on, tip them. There.
I'll tip Saints.
All right, done.
Just to go against you.
Saturday night, I'm going to this game. D's versus the Dons. No Gorn.
Bombers.
No Gorn.
Bombers.
Kills us. I'm going to go.
Who's the favourites?
Bombers the favourite, $1.52. I'm going to go the D's. I just think they're playing a better brand at the moment. I'd shoot myself if I tipped against them, and I'm going to the game. So I think
how are they going to beat them?
I think defensively they're they're too strong. I just don't know how they're going to kick the goals. Maisie's going to play on a right. Jake Lever will take maybe a Langford or someone like that, or a caddy and drop off. Tom McDonald will probably – who plays on stringer is a real worry for me.
They've got a lot of weapons, don't they, Essendon?
They do. So, but they're a good defensive team. So regardless of every team has their weapons, and they seem to hold them to low scores. And Melbourne's offense is back. So I'm going to go the D's. You'll go on the Dons.
I think Dons. Yeah, I think Dons, and I think you got too much across the ground.
All right, we'll get the tips just for the next 3 games. This Sunday seems like a bit of a fizzer. The Suns versus the Port at the Suns
Can you
ground.
believe Port at 225?
Well, the Suns haven't lost up at home this year.
You think they're going to be starting well?
I'm going to go the Suns.
If you're a Port fan, it's great value considering that they just smashed the Dogs
last week,
and
they're 6th,
and they're above them on the ladder. I'm going to tip Port. I've had enough of. I've almost had enough. I'm a bit like Dimmer. I've almost had enough. I last week. So I'm going to tip Port. I can't. I hope the Suns win, but I'm going to tip Port.
Here's some juice. $1.27 for the Giants versus Richmond. Are we going head to head in the locks? I'm going to tip GWS.
Giants for me.
And Brisbane, we're both going to tip them against the Eagles.
I reckon Tom Green again.
Tom Green again?
Well, I think Tom Green comes up against his old teammates Hopper and Taranto, and it's at the G, big ground.
No, yeah, it is at the G.
Richmond they're leaking. They're leaking a lot of goals. Might even go watch that.
All right, mate, let's just get it over and done with. What are we doing?
All right, everyone knows what time it is. It's the punishment time, whether you're watching or listening, or we're going to clip it up on social. Brado, can you please do me a favour, mate? Can you please come in here before we lock in this week's locks and go through our KPI Construction, stop that to close it out. Just bring in, what have we got here, great man? Oh, here we go. Look out.
No.
We've got the hottest corn chips in town.
No, man. I've had one of those.
Oh, our man Jibber. Jibber's got the grouse as well. He's got the grouse Reaper barbecue sauce. And he did tell me on this note, and a big shout out to Jibber. Love the pod legends. The 2 Reapers are the hottest. A few yummy ones in there as well out the back. I'll give you them later, pig. And the chips are silly hot. Cheers, boys. Jibber. Mate. So, Jibber, thank you. Should turn that around. Jibber's the man.
No.
All the way from Bustleton as well. WA produce. Do not consume on an empty stomach. Have you had much?
I haven't eaten today, man.
So,
I haven't eaten.
Do not consume on an empty stomach, it says. And
what does it say? Why?
That's just what and if you have any other medical conditions, which we know you probably, you're all good, aren't you?
This isn't good. Have you got any bread or anything around? I might just,
so what we're going to do is, I think...
I need to have something.
The Sydney Swans, you can talk to Sydney Swans about what you need. You need Logan to kick that sausage roll straight, but we're going to get a couple of chips or one chip out. Okay, and then we're going to put a bit of this sauce on the chip and then whack it through and then give you a tip this
I'm
week.
I'm going to be crook as a dog. Give it here. Hurry up. I want to do it.
Okay, can you just open that?
This is bull. Do not consume on an empty stomach.
Can you open it up, man? They're not that hot, man. Get a big one as well. That's fair enough. We'll just put a bit of this sauce on it. Just where's the camera here? Maybe just put that chip in front of me and I'll just put it right over here. All right, just
a little bit. Don't be a dog.
No, just don't move it. Hang on. You need to have a little bit. Hang on.
All righty. Yeah. This isn't good.
Okay, so just show the camera what you're about to do. This is Jibber's hot sauce, the Reaper barbecue. Look down the camera and apologise and smack it.
I'm apologising for nothing.
Get it straight down, big dog.
Oh. Let's go.
Okay, who's your lock this week? 12-week challenge, you start.
Oh, my God.
Who's your lock this week?
I'm going, oh, my God. All right, so I'm going on this game. Oh, my God, my eyes are watering. Hasn't hit me yet. It's going to get worse. I know it.
Smells all right. So who you locking in? You're not going to have another one, are you? You're going to have another one.
I'm going to tip. Oh, man, that's hot.
Oh, that is disrespectful to Jibber.
Oh, yeah.
That is great.
All right.
Your pig's just chucked a couple more chips in his mouth.
I'm going to go. Sorry, man.
Don't wipe your eyes, man.
I'm going to go my great mate, Jake Mulsham, 1 goal against his old mob. $1.33 after kicking 2 last week fresh. I'm struggling to spit this. Oh, my God. So that's my lock for the week.
Okay, so
Go. I'm going.
I'll take the GWS Giants taking on Richmond. They're $1.27. That gives us the $1.60. So we'll put them together with a little booster. The Giants playing Richmond. I'll lock them in after beating Carlton last week. So let's keep moving while the pig's here. It's time for our favourite segment at the end here. Our KPI Construction. Stop that. How you going, pig?
No good. I'm gone. I've got him.
He's lost his tongue.
Oh, my God, man. Oh, my God, I'm sweating. Shouldn't have that other one.
No. I know the world hottest chip. You've chucked a couple more in.
The world's hottest.
Do you want to start off with it? Nah. You go while you.
No, you go.
You want me to go first?
We need to redeem myself.
Okay. So
I can't even remember what I have. I'm starting to hallucinate.
So my KPI Construction, stop that. This week is to all the people that own dogs. I've had enough. I can't walk around the streets anymore without looking down and dodging landmines. So if you've got a dog, I think we've said it before, but sort it out. Maybe take it for a little run before you walk the streets because I'm sick of dodging the landmines on the street. So anyone out there that thinks it's acceptable to walk your doggy on the concrete and let it just do a deuce, landmine for us civilians walking past, stop that. I've had a gutful. And anyone out there that knows how to clean them up, I mean, the cancel, can you get to work? They're everywhere.
I'm dying.
So, Pig, what is your stop
I'm
that?
dying. I don't know if I can get this out. I need milk.
So we bought some milk at the back post potty, mate.
Is that work?
I don't think anything works.
I can't talk, man. I can't talk. I was hurting and now I can feel it in my guts. My KPI Construction, stop that. I don't know if I'm going to get this out, but to the MRO for whopping. I can't. I'm not even going to bother.
Have a go, man.
But don't be writing off the brown. I can't spit it out. Sorry. Shouldn't have that second one.
Oh, no, that was outrageous.
It's just arrogance and just an idiotic. Anyway, so the MRO and the MRO. Let's go again. The MRO now?
I don't know what it is.
Whatever. To be writing off the Brownlow favourite for an accidental knock when Webster was down low. Like he's trying to create separation. And to wipe out the favourite for something like that is just ridiculous. And I'm done. So KPI Constructions, that's my stop that. I'm dying here. I'm dying.
That is all the pig has this week. The big brother's sucking through the pump water. I reckon you're lucky that was full because
I just need water in my mouth.
That is. I want to say a huge shout out to our man Jibber from Busso with sending through the hottest chips and the Reaper hot sauce.
This didn't help either, man.
I can relate. I've done this before and it's not good. And on an empty stomach, that'll be interesting.
I had to have had a hot one, like with heaps of spice on it. I'm dying. My eyes are starting to hurt.
We better wrap this up. We're going to continue filming, but we love everyone that listens to this podcast. We're going to look into this 12-week challenge and see what we can do next week. We're just going to get the runs on the board and see how we can fast track it with not many weeks to come. I just want to say thanks to everyone once again. Pig, well done. Punishment time, you've dominated. And thanks to everyone that wrote in. We hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next week on Aces Premiership Countdown. This episode is proudly sponsored by KPI Construction Services. When it comes to construction sites, reliability and efficiency are key. That's where KPI Construction Services shines. With a single call, KPI provides a range of essential services, which includes labour hire, crane hire, and traffic control. KPI is a progressive business with modern plant and equipment across all of their operating states. Focusing on innovation and to avoid the business drifting is always front of mind. We are proud to be aligned with and have such a reputable company partnering with the show. Aces, I know I always go on about the RIXXs, but I got huge news. We have all our styles and colours restocked on the website right now. Get online, grab some sunglasses at rixxeyewear.com.au right now and use our little discount code ACES if you want a 20% discount code on the house.